We're bringing Chinese takeout to your house. And no, we're not going to pick it up. We're gonna do it from scratch. What is it? What are we doing? Tell me.
General Tso's tofu.
It's so good it's gonna make you go, yeah! We're coming in from the future. Go start your rice in the rice cooker right now before we start this recipe.
Alright, so we're gonna get started with the tofu part. This is firm tofu. Extra firm, they make that too if you can find that, that works. You just want a firmer tofu, not a soft one, because it'll fall apart. So we're gonna go ahead and get this cut open. So when you open these tofu packages, there's always a bunch of water in it. Like it comes packed in water, helps keep it fresher, you know, like longer on the shelf, I guess, in the refrigerator. So I'm gonna go drain this, and I'll be back in a second. What we're gonna do is we're gonna try to get as much of this moisture out of it. I have some. We couldn't find paper towels because it's sometimes hard to get now. So we're just, these are napkins that are made by a paper towel company that are literally paper towels that are just folded in half.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally a paper towel. Like one of those ones that, you know, you can rip in half.
But what are you doing right now?
I'm getting the extra moisture out of it. See how how it's sticking? That's just a bunch of water. You want to squeeze some of that out because it's just gonna, you know, it's just gonna come out in your stuff when you're frying it for cooking it. So.
Okay.
Plus it'll probably pop a lot since we're going to fry this in a little bit of oil. We drained it off pretty well. We're going to cut this up into some cubes. So what I'm going to do is slice it, you know, like in half this way. I don't know what direction that is. What you would call that? Lengthwise?
Sideways.
Lengthwise maybe? I guess.
Long ways.
We're going to make them probably about like yay big, probably about an inch cubes. Yay big. Where am I from?
Bite size.
Yeah, but the smaller they are, the harder they are to keep together because they'll fall apart more when you flip them around and stuff. So if you make them bigger, it actually makes it a little easier. From my experience cooking tofu. Okay, I'm gonna put all this into a bowl. This is it's a combination of like a real Chinese American one and like kind of adapted because we're not gonna batter this with like egg whites and all that stuff because it's vegan. So to make this stick, we're gonna do something a little different to make the batter stick to it. This isn't vegan, but if you want to use agave syrup or some other kind of syrup, this is going to help the batter stick to the tofu better. So we're just going to use a little bit of honey. Or if you don't want to use honey at all, I guess you could leave it out, just leave it out. I think it'll help it stick though.
So you could use agave.
Or some other kind of syrup, yeah, maple. Only like a tablespoon or so, maybe a tablespoon and a half of that. And it's like, man, honey's a pain, right? It just drips all over the side.
Yeah,
right.
You gotta lick everything.
We're going to put a little bit of hot sauce on it because it's General Tso's. This is like kind of like a marinade, but not really.
What?
This is just hot sauce.
Wait, hold on.
You can use whatever hot sauce you want. This is the one I like. This one's kind of hot. I'm not going to use a lot of it.
So any hot sauce just to give it a little...
Like a thicker hot sauce, probably not a Tabasco. This Tabasco's really thin. This might be hot today.
That's fine.
Okay. I'm going to put a little bit of pepper on it. This is white pepper, which is used a lot in Chinese food, but you can just use regular pepper. All it is they took out like the outside layer that makes it black. This is just the inside part.
Oh, it's the same plant?
Yeah, it has a little different flavor because that outside part has a little bit more of the chemical that makes it peppery, I think. It's the same thing.
It's paprika.
A little bit of paprika. Now we need cornstarch, which is right here. Hopefully we can mix this up without breaking it all up. This is the challenging part of this recipe. This is kind of fried, but it's not gonna have the thick batter like a lot of General Tso's chicken has and stuff, you know. So we're gonna put a couple tablespoons of this in there. There's one. If it'll come out. Okay. Kerplunk.
Take that. Today's episode is Adam versus Cornstarch.
Fingers are probably the easiest thing to do this with because if you use tongs and stuff, you're probably gonna break it all up. Could you like pour a little bit more in here? Can you do it? Just shake it all around it. About another tablespoon. That's pretty good right there.
Is that enough?
Like a little more, not like all over. Like that was a good amount for that area. That's probably good.
Is
like,
that enough?
a little bit over here.
Because I literally can't see them do it.
Little more over here. That's
Okay,
good.
there we go.
That's good.
Because I'm trying to film it at the same time.
That's actually really good. The
The
more you use of this, it's just gonna have more of that cornstarch crunchy layer on the outside. So it's up to you. All right, we're good with this. So we're gonna start with actually frying it up. So
Okay.
I'm gonna wash my hands off because this isn't gonna work. So I'll be back. That's good. I don't know how much that is because it depends on how big your pan is.
We have done. Last season was all air frying. This season it's all pan frying.
I don't know who decided to make a dish soap with gain in it, but you are an evil person. It's like, why do I want to smell like a laundry detergent everywhere I go? That's not a normal smell. I mean, I like.
know where it came from. I don't know.
I'm okay with the smell of gain on my laundry. Oh my god, now it's all over my pants. I feel like it won't come out. Alright, it's part of my pants now.
This is supposed to be a really easy recipe.
I'm trying to get this. I opened the cornstarch and it went everywhere. I'm trying to get rid of it. Our oil's heated up. I'm gonna go ahead and get this fry latent.
Okay.
I don't know if that's a word, but it is now. Yeah, hot.
Adam had comments that our oil wasn't hot last time. So
Every time we fry something, it's not hot enough because I'm afraid of like getting it too hot and burning the oil down here because I don't know this burner very well yet. I know it now. I didn't know it when we started.
I put a Hemi in it.
We're cooking this at about like 350 degrees Celsius. Celsius way too high. 350 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh man.
Yeah, we're burning stuff here.
1,000 degrees.
Said you put a Hemi in it, right?
Yeah.
We're cooking it at like 350 degrees Fahrenheit, I think. I don't know. I just have my burner up in one medium high because this thing doesn't get as hot as an actual burner, I don't think. So we're just gonna get them. Oh, they're already browning.
Ooh, yeah.
You get like that going on, then you need to turn it down. You can see it's like actually getting some like little battery looking crusty and stuff on it.
Oh man, that sounds good. But see, you know what's really weird is like air fryers are rage now, right?
They put them in friggin' ovens now.
But when we were kids, it was a fry daddy.
Yep. I still want one. I still want one of those little fry babies or fry daddies. Carry it with me everywhere. Just plug it in. And go to the park, you know, get an extension cord, start frying up some fish, you know. Some of these are getting pretty brown, like that. That's pretty good. Go ahead and take it out on some napkin paper towels on the side. You don't want to get them super dark, but a little color's not going to hurt it, you know. Just going to make it good and crispy. They look like tater tots.
They are tater tots.
Kind of. This one literally looks kind of like a little tater tot. That's what they used to call me. Little tater tot.
What? Okay, alright. Yeah, I would call you little tater tot. Tell me about, as you take the other ones out, you're putting other ones back in?
Yeah, because I can fit them in the pan now.
Okay.
And I turned up the temperature a little more because it cooled down a lot when I put those first ones in there. And you can tell by how many bubbles are coming out. If there's like little bitty bubbles, like a lot of bubbles when you put one in, your oil's probably at a good temperature. But if it's like splatter and popping and going everywhere, you probably have it up too high. If you see like smoke coming off the oil, turn it down. That's way too high. We're basically all done. I'm just gonna turn off the burner. We're gonna take them out.
We're drinking oil, right?
Yes, fresh, hot oil. Right down your flavor hole.
Perfect. I'm all for it.
Now we get started on the sauce and preparing the rest of the dish. This is pretty simple. Start with a couple cloves of garlic. As everything on the table just vibrates and makes tons of noise. You need to mince this. If I would have thought, I would have brought my press down, but I'm just gonna cut it up really quick. Using about two cloves. These are pretty big ones. You can use more or less if you want, but I think this is a pretty good amount for what we're making. Alright, we need a little bit of ginger. Just gonna cut off a piece. Probably about
Thumbs.
If you have a tiny baby thumb, I guess, yeah. I'm gonna peel all this, get all this stuff off of here. Not peel it, I'm just gonna cut it off. Oh, this is young ginger, this is good. You can tell it's younger ginger when it's not, like if you have ginger sometimes it's really fibrous, you know? That's like older ginger and it's like harder for it to break down and cook it. This is like really fine, so this is gonna be good. Alright, that's pretty good. This isn't about an equal amount of garlic. It's probably about half the same amount. See, it's a little less. That's probably what you want. Because you have too much ginger, it's going to be really strong ginger, which I love ginger, but like sometimes if you have too much ginger, it's like kind of overpowering to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead and mix up our sauce right now so we don't have to I have to measure everything out, throw it in all at once, you know, since this is fast. it's easier to mix it in a little bowl on the side and then dump it all in at one time.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna start with a little bit of regular soy sauce, or light soy sauce is what it's called. If you go to like a Asian grocery store, a lot of different kinds. I need 1.5 tablespoons of this.
Yeah.
So now we're gonna put a little bit of dark soy sauce.
Okay.
So a teaspoon of this. You can tell like the color's different. So the regular soy sauce is kind of like red. Look how black that is.
Yeah.
We're gonna put a tablespoon of sugar in here now. We need a little bit of rice vinegar, or I have seasoned rice vinegar. That's all I have. It has additional stuff in it, like sugar and stuff, so it's a little
Now, I have a
sweeter.
question. Is this rice wine vinegar or is this different?
It's just, well, yeah, it's the same thing. If you don't have this, you can use regular vinegar. I need 2 teaspoons of this.
That's fine over here.
That's it for the sauce. So go ahead and stir that up. We forgot one ingredient in our sauce, actually, sesame oil. We need about 1/2 teaspoon, so I'm just gonna pour a little bit. It's probably enough. I need to cut up a little bit of broccoli too. You could just get broccoli florets like out of a frozen bag if you want. Steam them really quick. What I'm gonna do, this is fresh. I'm just gonna cut it off the thing here. Need about one of these heads, pretty big head, is probably about 2 cups probably of broccoli florets. So like a small bag is probably plenty. Cut up the bigger pieces like in half.
I
Like
can't
that.
tell if it's thunder or my stomach. I'm hearing that.
Is that a good thing?
No.
Oh, is it
I'm really
good?
hungry.
All right.
I got really tuckered out from doing all the kung fu.
Now I'm gonna mix up my little cornstarch sauce. We may not use all of this. It depends how thick we want or how like watery or thick our sauce is in the end. So we're just gonna mix up a decent amount of it, and if you don't use it, just like wash it down the sink. So we're gonna start with 1.5 tablespoons of what is all that stuff everywhere. 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. You need about 1 tablespoon of water for 1.5 tablespoons of cornstarch. You want to have a little more cornstarch than water, or you can have more water. Doesn't. I make this different every time I do it.
To me, this is magic.
Yeah, that's too thick. I'm gonna put a little more water. I like it to be a little runny because if it's too thin, you can just cook it longer, and the water will cook out of your sauce. So, you know what I mean? Know what I mean, Vern? I'm gonna go and get our wok going. I don't have an actual wok burner, and this isn't actually like a real wok. It's just like a wok-ish kind of pan. I think it'll work pretty well for this, though. You can use just a frying pan, like a skillet with a lid. You don't even really need the lid. I'll show you why I'm gonna have a lid, but just like a skillet's fine, like a deep frying pan. I'm gonna reuse some of this because, like, why waste it? You know, all we did was fry in it, and just pour like a couple tablespoons of this in here.
Oh, so you don't have to get more oil?
Yeah,
I see.
just reuse what we
That's
had.
clever.
That's enough to coat the bottom, basically. Pretty hot now. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in my ginger. I'm just gonna throw you're supposed to throw your ginger in first by itself, but I'm just gonna throw the ginger and garlic together because they're right here. It'll be okay. We're just gonna saute it for not very long, so over like medium heat.
Oh, yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Is that hot? Too hot?
No,
Is that right?
it's okay.
Alright. Just stand up here on top of it, see all the smoke or steam.
Okay. Oh yeah, it's a little too hot. Oh god. I gotta hurry. I'm gonna throw a few dried chilies in here. Saute those for a second. I need something to stir this with. Okay, you don't want to get them as brown as I did, but that's okay. Then we're gonna go ahead and stir in there. Put a little bit of water in here. This is gonna pop, so watch out. That's about a cup of water. We're gonna bring this up to a boil.
It'll be alright now.
I've over browned it a little. The garlic isn't burnt; it's just slightly brown. You don't want to get it that brown, but it won't taste. If you get it more past what I did, it would probably taste bitter. But I got it right at the point to where it's not bitter. This cooks really fast. You gotta have everything ready. I wasn't because I'm an idiot. Like have everything
I'm
ready.
up here bothering you. I'm standing on the stool.
I'm gonna go ahead and throw my broccoli in now. This
Wow,
is just
look at it.
go ahead and throw this in there. It's about 2 cups, maybe a little more. And I'm gonna put a lid on it because I think it'll help these broccoli cook through faster. Because we're gonna get them a little done. I like them done.
This works crazy on this burner.
Yeah.
How long does this go for?
I would do about 3 to 5 minutes or so, just until like the broccoli will look like super green, but like You can test it by poking it with a knife or something, like into the thickest part of like the stem.
Okay.
We just want to get the broccoli cooked through. I'm gonna pour a little bit of this Shaoxing rice wine like I was talking about. I was supposed to do this, but when I was sauteing all the garlic and stuff, but I was like, oh my god, it's burning, I gotta stop. So you just need like a half or quarter tablespoon of this. So just like pour a little bit like that in there, and that's good.
Okay.
Leave it out, it's optional. You can already smell it. It smells like wine in here now.
Mm-hmm. Cooking with wine!
I'm going to take this off. This broccoli's soft. You can cook it more. It's probably going to get too yellow. Mine might. I don't know. Just cook it to where you're satisfied. 3 to 4 minutes is good. Then we're going to go ahead and dump in our sauce that we made earlier. You know, mix all the stuff up with the additional sesame oil that I forgot to put in there. Go ahead and pour that in. Give that a little stir. And then we're going to pour in our cornstarch slurry, a little bit of that. I'm going to pour all of it. If it gets too thick, we'll just add a little more water.
Smells so good.
And this is already boiling, this is pretty good. Let it thicken up a little bit. We missed a bunch of it down here on the bottom. That.
I think it's the thickest part of it.
There we go. Oh yeah, it's like a needle. Look at that.
Yeah.
Alright, that consistency's pretty good. We can turn it down now. You can make this as thick as you want. See how that separates when I pull through it?
Yeah.
That means you can see on the sides when I'm stirring it. You can cook it as thick as you want. I think this is pretty good. Actually, there's a little more sauce in here. I'm going to get out the brown sauce. The sauce is good. Go ahead and dump our tofu from earlier in it. Hopefully don't dump our napkin in there with it. Yay! And we can turn it off because our pan's got a lot of heat in it. Just stir it around. Try not to break all the tofu up into pieces. Yep, that's it.
Alright.
That's freaking.
Get a rice.
Yep. This is it. We're just gonna, plate it up, and then we'll be back down here and give you some tasting, some notes, some of the notes.
You think your flavors can defeat mine?
You think you can match my flavor kung fu? Let's go ahead and dig in.
And wait, our beverages of today. I got Twist Up. Never had it before. Adam's been drinking it in here. And what do you got?
It's called Sarsi. It looks like Pepsi, but it's a root beer, and it's made by the Coca-Cola company. So I don't know.
From the Philippines, you said, right?
I believe it's the Philippines. Product, it's to be sold only in the Philippines, but
It's like Walmart's 7-Up Sprite thing.
yeah, it's like a mix.
It's like a mix of the two. Yeah, it's interesting.
Oh, that smells.
It's not bad.
That smells super medicinal. Smell that.
Huh. It smells like bubble. You know what it smells like? It smells like the root beer candies.
Oh, that's like weird root beer. It's okay, but it's weird.
Oh, I already skipped ahead. Sorry.
He's already digging
I'm
in.
starving.
Piece of that tofu. Mm-hmm. It's like General Tso's. It's General Tso's. But with tofu.
Oh, a little bit spicy.
It was hard for me to control. I just threw a bunch of chilies in there because it was
No,
about
at
to
the
catch on
end it's
fire.
kind of spicy. No, we almost started a fire today.
It got close to overcooking the garlic and stuff. But it worked out. It's really
I have a
good.
job here. I forgot.
It's really good.
Yeah, this is good, and we're both starving. The tofu takes on a texture that's not normal to me. Like when I think of tofu, it's interesting.
It's not as soft. It's got some chew, and it's not. Maybe it's because it was frozen.
Maybe it's that type of tofu.
I think they might have froze it and then unfroze it.
That might be it.
I don't know though. That story, I have no idea. But it's not that fry. It's not super thick battery. But there's a little bit of you can tell it's not just straight up tofu. Just cooked and sauteed in a pan. That's good.
Where did this dish come from?
This root beer is gross. I'm sorry. I do not like that. I don't recommend that root beer. All right, let's get back on the tofu. Decided, I don't know, like I haven't had Chinese takeout in a while. This is an American Chinese takeout kind of dish. So, General Tso's chicken is the regular version.
Yep.
And it's like usually battered chicken that's like deep fried, and it's like a pretty thick batter most of the time. So it's not the healthiest thing to have all the time, but we don't care on this show. We decided to make a tofu this week because I made chicken last week. So last episode.
The point is, are you making it?
I want to make. Yeah, I wanted to make Chinese takeout.
No,
I want to make Chinese takeout at home, and you have the sauces and stuff. You can substitute some of them. Like if you just have these basic ingredients, you can make this all the time. It's really easy.
Those broccolis taste awesome.
Yep. That's how broccoli should be cooked. I think when people like in dishes like this, sometimes they don't. It's not really cooked. I mean, this looks like it's starting to go a little brown. People don't like that, but the stem is edible, and like you got to do it.
So difficulty-wise,
easy.
You think this is the easy one?
Yeah. All we did was put some stuff on this tofu, flip it around in a pan for about 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Made rice in a rice cooker.
So if you have a rice cooker, yeah, it's easier.
I'd say it's easy. The hardest part was when we like started sauteing all the stuff. Like if you got your pan up hot like we did, it'll start. You gotta make sure it doesn't burn.
I'd say, and also
that's the hardest part.
Patting your tofu.
That's not very.
And
hard.
cutting it up so it doesn't get all, so it doesn't go everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't get all those little. Sometimes it'll like break apart.
Yeah, like if you cut it like I did, like in half, like lengthwise, and then cut it into like thirds again lengthwise or whatever, and then like quarters or something, like decent, like 1.5 inch cubes basically, or so. It should be pretty. Some of it fell apart, but if as long as you're delicate when you're stirring around your cornstarch and stuff, it won't really. And when you're frying it, like with tongs, like being like not just stabbing into it with tongs and stuff, it won't fall apart.
Oh man,
it'll stay together.
I got a lot more sauce on this one. Sauce is good. Difficulty, yeah. Those are the only two things I think. What you said.
It's just being delicate with the tofu.
Delicate with the tofu, yeah. So cost-wise, he was telling me this is really cheap.
It's really cheap, yeah. But I'd say this is literally under like $4 for the whole thing.
Yeah, it's a great meal. This is a great meal.
You could veg it up. I put a few more veggies in there maybe. You can put some bell peppers in there or something. That's more of a substitution. I always combine these
here,
two.
go into the substitutions now. So that's cost.
Oh, yeah. Substitutions, like I was saying about the sauces, if you don't have all the sauces, like you probably have regular soy sauce or just soy sauce. That's what light soy sauce is. Dark soy sauce is like it's a more intense. It kind of smells like alcohol thing going on, and it's like really intensely flavored. It's strong. You can't find that. Just substitute light soy sauce for that in the recipe. It'll work exactly the same. And the rice wine stuff I had, the Shaoxing rice wine.
Yeah. If
you can't find that, you could also just put like sake, which isn't exactly the same, but it's an alcohol. Or white wine, honestly, would work a little bit, like a little bit, like because you only use like a half like a teaspoon or 2 teaspoons of it or something, like small, you know. Or you could just leave it up because it doesn't do a whole lot to it. But yeah, I wouldn't substitute the tofu. You could change the broccoli for another vegetable, green vegetable, if you don't like.
Oh,
green beans actually would work.
Firm or extra firm tofu probably would help.
Oh yeah.
Don't get
soft or they have like one in between, like medium soft. Medium firm you might be able to work with, but it would probably do more of this falling apart.
We also don't want whatever that one is that's like super soft that they make the pudding out of.
Oh no, yeah, that will not. If you open that package and try to cut it, you'll realize like silken. That's what it's called. Silken tofu. It just goes like falls apart. Looks like jelly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that won't work. Definitely. Oh, the when we put the honey and stuff on there, you could.
That's right. This is technically vegetarian.
You could substitute like agave or something kind of syrup. You need some kind of sticky. That's all that kind of did is it helped it. Yeah. This cornstarch stick and it helped it get a little browner because it's sugar. So.
Yep.
Like the peppers, you don't have to use the dry peppers. I have a bunch of them. These aren't even the same kind of peppers that they use in this. These are chili de arbol, like arbol chilies. Use as many of those as you want or just leave them out.
Oh man.
If you want it to be spicy, throw a little bit of like chili flakes instead in there. Just throw some chili flakes.
Oh yeah, chili flakes.
But like do not saute them for very long. Chili flakes burn really fast too. Like everything else almost burns.
Serving sizes? I don't know.
I'd say it's probably about, let's say 4 servings.
Or yeah, we're
really hungry.
We both ate 2.
I've eaten like one.
Oh yeah, I ate 2.
1.5, maybe 1.25.
Man, I wasn't expecting to like this be my favorite recipe of all time, but this is it right here.
You get this at Chinese restaurants. They give you broccoli sometimes, but sometimes they don't. A broccoli's like an afterthought every time. It doesn't even have any sauce on it sometimes. I'm like, what is this in here? Half cooked broccoli. It's not even adding any flavor. This adds like a ton of flavor with it.
I'm not sure what the deal. I think it's like it's for presentation, but it's weird. I like to eat it. Would you change anything next time? That kind of goes into what you were saying about substitutions.
Yeah, they always
The
kind of go
chilies,
together.
take those out.
Yeah.
Really, no. This is
No.
this is awesome. You wouldn't change anything, right?
No.
Oh, we would change. We're gonna put more sauce.
Yeah, probably put a little more sauce. So like, in the recipe, we'll probably increase it by 50%.
Yeah,
Because I think if you do double, that'd be too much sauce, and that cornstarch and stuff won't thicken it.
yeah.
So it'll just cook down to where like
it's
it
a
will.
good recipe.
That was a little hot right there. That
It was
one
a
was,
good recipe.
that was hot.
And then like I think this goes in right into what would you make this again?
Yeah.
So that was our General Tao's tofu. Hopefully you enjoyed everything we've done. Like, subscribe, share, bell it, send it. What else you can do?
I was just laughing because this thing started buzzing right after you said bell it.
Things. Do all the things. Check out other stuff. Oh, website. FoodDOODZ.tv. FOODDOODZ.tv. We've got all of these recipes up there. He writes them up, takes all the pictures, and you can follow it like you're reading a book. How about that? Picture books. FoodDOODZ.tv. Coming at you. Cookbook picture books. You ever had one of those before? No, but you do now. Check it out. We'll catch you next time on OMG Meals.
Oh my god, I hate that.
OMG Meals.
Yeah, you see, I haven't done that yet, right?
What?
Because it takes. I have to match it with your hands and like
I don't-
move the frame.
I don't care. I don't care.
All right.
It's like doing it.
Bye.
OMG Meals. Oh wait, hold on. Wait. Hey, I bet you can see my nostrils. Can't you? Whoa. Go check out that other video right over there. Yeah?